Good morning, St. Hope 8th graders. My name is Kevin, and I'm part of a research team at NYU here to learn how 8th graders choose high schools. Now, your school was one of the very few schools selected for this study, and I'm very excited, very thrilled to be here to learn from you guys. Now, does anyone remember at the beginning of the year that very thick, big, heavy book that has all the high schools in it? Yes? Very good. Now, I took a look at that book before coming here, and with all that information, I got confused and lost. But today, I'm here to present you guys with a tool that hopefully will make that decision process and help you guys along the way, make that path a little bit easier. But first, I want to ask you guys just a few questions, before we get started. And if you guys could raise your hand, that'd be greatly appreciated. So that way I can call on you guys and, we can have fun at the same time. Now, what do you guys, since you guys are all 8th graders here, what are you guys looking for in a high school? And remember, please raise your hand. What do you guys want in a high school? What are you looking for? Sir? Randy, what are you looking for in a high school? Strong sports team. So Randy likes sports. All right, next. Who do we have? Your name? Emily. Emily wants a good English department. Very good. Emily likes English. All right, next. Marvin, what are you looking for in a high school? Do they have computers? I like it. Do they have computers? So we'll just put computers. Oh, incredible. And I'll take one more. Sabrina, what are you looking for? Do they have arts? These are all great answers, guys, and also thank you for raising your hand. But let me ask you this. Do you guys want to spend 60 or 90 minutes maybe commuting to your high school? No one wants to spend that much time on a subway or a bus. So is it fair to say we all want short travel time to our high school? All right, so short travel time. All right, and since you guys will be in high school next year for the next 4 years, what do you guys want to do? What are you guys looking to accomplish after those 4 years? Anyone? Let me see those hands. Simon, what do you want to? What's your goal after those 4 years? Say it loud so everyone can hear. Graduate. That's right. You want to graduate from high school. Now, Simon, let me ask you this: since you said graduate, do you want a lot of kids to graduate with you from your high school, or not a lot? You want a lot of kids. So you want a lot of kids to graduate with you. Now guys, I want to introduce you to this sheet that we've created, and for St. Hope especially, and it's called the Fast Facts Sheet, and it shows a list of 30 high schools that are within 45 minutes or less commuting time via subway or bus from St. Hope here in Manhattan. Now, this sheet has 6 columns, and I'm going to go through those 6 columns with you before I pass it out to the class. Now, the first column, it's a school name, so your high school's name. The second column is borough. And even though we're in the borough of Manhattan, you'll see that some schools listed on this sheet are in the Bronx. And that just means that it'll take you 45 minutes or less via subway or bus to get to that high school in the Bronx. Next, we have graduation rate, and just to piggyback off of Simon saying he wants a lot of kids to graduate. Let's say Simon goes to Kevin's high school, and we're looking to see what does graduation mean? We know what graduate means, but what does graduation rate actually mean? So, if there are 10 kids in Kevin's high school, and this is my own made-up high school, and 7 of them graduate, my graduation rate would be 70%. Now let me ask you guys this. How many kids would need to graduate in order to make my graduation rate at Kevin's high school 80%? Let me see those hands. Christina. Very good. Everyone here? So in order to make the graduation rate 80%, I would need 8 students to graduate. So that's how we figure out graduation rate. All of the schools on this sheet, all of the 30 schools in your sheet, have a graduation rate, as you can see, of 70% or better. And currently in the borough of Manhattan, the graduation rate is 68%. So as you can see, all the schools on this list have a graduation rate above that 68%. Next, we have page number. And you're probably thinking, page number to what? Remember that big, thick, heavy book that we talked about at the beginning of the lesson? Well, you can find more information about that school, the things we mentioned, the sports. Do they have an English department? Do they have a strong English department? Do they have computers, and is there an arts program? You can find out all that information listed on the page number here. And then it'll just you just correspond the page number to the page number in that big, thick, heavy high school book. And lastly, we have admissions method. And what does it mean? What's the admissions method? Each of these schools has very different ways for you to get in, and we've listed those methods here. But what do they mean? I see things, Kevin, I see things like screened, limited, unscreened, audition. I don't know what those means. Well, we've also made it very simple for you. If you just turn to the back of your Fast Fact sheets, we have what all those admissions terms means. So for something like limited unscreened, it means that priority is given to students who attend the school information session or open house event or visit the school table at the high school fair. So on the back of this Fast Fact sheets, you'll find out what all those various admissions methods are. Now the second sheet that I'm going to pass out to the class is something called Fast Fact Screen Language. And these are for students who may be new to the country or English is not their first language. These are schools that designed for students who are currently learning English. For example, I have a few cousins who are from Bangladesh, and the language in Bangladesh is Bengali. So I can go to this list, and I see one right here, the Bronx Bridges High School. And I can see they specialize in languages Spanish, Bengali, Arabic, and French. So that may be a good high school choice for my cousins. Now, can I have 2 volunteers to help me pass out these 2 sheets to the class? Perfect. We have Stephanie and Krista. Stephanie and Krista, here you guys go. If you just help me distribute these papers to the class. And I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to look back in front, to look through both sheets, and then give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go. Let me see. Perfect. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs. Incredible, guys. Incredible. Now, let's look at a school together. Can everyone put that same thumb that you gave me the thumbs up? Can we put your thumb on the school called the Global Learning Collaborative? I'm seeing thumbs. I'm seeing thumbs. All right, everybody looks locked in. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what borough they're located in? Kevin? Beautiful. Kevin said Manhattan. Incredible. So can someone then tell me the graduation rate? Back to you, Simon. Simon says 75%. Incredible. Next, can we go look at the column minutes by MTA? Remember, this means how much travel time from St. Hope, your middle school, from St. Hope, how long it'll take to get to the Global Learning Collaborative. Christina, back to you. 22 minutes via subway or bus from St. Hope. Very good. Now guys, it may take you a bit shorter or longer from your home, but you can always use tools like Google Maps to figure out the exact travel time from door to door. Now what if I wanted to learn more about that school, such as, do they have a strong arts department? Where can I find that information? Jason? Jason says page 385 of the directory. Fantastic. So you would just turn to page 385 of that big heavy book that we talked about, and you would find information about all the arts programs and everything else that you would need to know about the Global Learning Academy. Now, does anyone see a school? I mentioned that every school on this sheet has a graduation rate of 70% or higher, which is above the Manhattan average of 68%. Does anyone see a school that does not have a graduation rate? Paul, do you see a school? Paul says the Claremont International High School. And what does it say next to graduation rate, Paul? It says new. Now, what does that mean? That this school currently does not have any graduation rate information to publish, but they anticipate that they will have either 70% or more in their first graduation class. Does that make sense to everyone? All right, perfect. Now let's continue to move on. Let's actually talk about how we fill out this application now. How do you go about getting here from 8th grade to high school? Does anyone know how many high school programs you could put down in your application? Remember, let's raise our hand. Jason, back to you. Jason says 5. All right. Marker seems to be running out of ink, so let me just make a quick change, get some more red marker. All right, Jason said 5. Any more guesses? Denise? Denise says 8. All right. Does anyone think, excuse me, does anyone think that it's 10 or higher? Ooh, someone says 11. Guys, actually you can put up to 12 programs on your application. Now a lot of you are thinking 12 is a lot, Kevin, and I may not like 12 programs, and that's very true. But let me ask you this question. Let's say in my hand I have a bag full of M&M peanuts, my favorite candy. Now I give you the option of, let's say guys, you can have either 5 or 12 M&Ms. What do you want? Obviously you want 12 M&Ms, right? So why not make use of those 12 M&Ms? And let me ask you this. Let's say you only pick 5 high schools. A lot of, I just want you to think of this situation. Imagine in your head of this situation. Let's say the first high school that you pick, very popular, fills up. So unfortunately, we have to go to your second choice. The second choice is a screened high school. And what is it? And what does screen mean? Going back to the back of your fast facts form. Screen means that students are ranked by the school based on their 7th grade math and ELA scores, grades, and/or attendance. Now, let's say you don't have the grades for that school, so you're not admitted to that school. So your first and second choices are unfortunately don't accept you. They move on to your third choice, and your third choice is a limited unscreened school. And what does limited unscreened means? Priority is given to students who attend an information session or open house or visit the school at a high school table. Now let's say the night before the open house or the fair, you stayed up late watching a movie and you slept in late and you missed that open house. It happens. But unfortunately, that school does not, you don't get into that school. Now they move on to your 4th and 5th schools, and by the time that system gets to you, and by the time you get to your 4th or 5th schools, those schools are full too. And then and then now you want to remember